How's it going, Woods and Forest community? We have a really special guest with us today. We have Alex from Westmoreland County. He's going to talk to us about a lot of different things that he's doing, whether it's photography or teaching, or maybe even some really cool adventures with hiking. So I'm really excited to have a guest on that features part of our podcast that we haven't really had as many guests on about, which is the hiking part of it, and especially like the native area, like with Pennsylvania, and focusing on the region that we both are in. So, Alex, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, hi folks. Happy to be here. As Aaron said, I am from Westmoreland County. I actually live in Scottsdale, right along the border of Westmoreland and Fayette. Born and raised here in like the Laurel Highlands region, and have been outdoors kind of my whole life. I started out mostly like hiking, fishing with my grandpap, and then just kind of took it off from there individually. More recently, I've gotten really into birding and wildlife photography, so that's sort of kind of what I've, I guess, become known for around the area. I seem to bump into a lot of people that know who I am somehow, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so there's a lot that we could get to. One of the things that I think we should tackle maybe a little bit early on is that you created a group on Facebook. Am I correct? The Westmoreland Bird and Nature Club?
So I won't claim as any credit as the creator, but I am the current president of the Westmoreland Bird and Nature Club. The group has been around for quite a while now. I don't have an exact time frame, but I stepped on probably about 3 years ago at this point, and have become more involved over time. But we're a group that is very low stakes, very open to everybody, and just a group of people that collectively in the area likes birds and nature. So we'll do a lot of different outings around the county and like neighboring counties, to different locations throughout the year. Bird hikes, we'll do like wildflower hikes, different things just depending on what time of year. And it's a really great community. The Facebook group has gotten quite big over the few years that it's been there. Our in-person membership is a lot smaller, but we're always looking to grow it. And it's like I said, it's very low stakes. So we encourage lots of people to come out. You can find information about our outings on the Facebook page and on our website, which is just wbnc.net. Um, and yeah, it's open for anybody to join. So
There we go. Look at that.
yep, there we go.
You guys have an annual newsletter, right?
We do. It's actually quarterly, so we put out a quarterly newsletter. If you are a member of the club, which is like I think it's something like $15 or something, like very affordable for the year, then you get our newsletters just to keep you up to date on. Yeah, there you go. So we got some feature articles. We have our outings in there, just sort of upcoming things, and then usually some like notable sightings from around the area that get compiled into there. So yeah,
Yeah, I'd say this looks a little familiar to me.
yeah, yeah. That was yours. That was a good one. So,
Yeah, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody here. That's pretty awesome. We can just highlight that
yeah,
exactly where it is, and just to give people a chance to see what the Bird Nature Club is about, what it's doing. Let's see, what else can we look up here that might be interesting for people to see while we're on. I think
yeah.
I think this would be great this time of the year for you to talk about the migration of birds.
Yeah. So we are kind of embroiled like this week is really one of the peak weeks for a lot of our migrant species here in Pennsylvania and really across the entire United States. A lot of our a lot of our birds that pass through the area will breed in like up in Canada or New England. And this time of year, they've wrapped up their summer breeding season and they're on their way back down to like the Caribbean or South America. And so a lot of species that aren't normally seen locally are passing through, and it's a good time to be out and birding. I've been out a lot myself recently, and there's been a lot of good stuff in the area recently. So we one of our events actually coming up on this Saturday, the 5th, is a fall migration count. Um, they call it the Big Sit, right there, the Big Sit. So it's an annual event that you kind of just sit in one place. It's a called a point count, like an ecological survey method, and it's nice. We bring out like bag lunches, and there's lots of people, just good conversation, and you're looking in all directions as a group for whatever passes by. And it's something that is done across, like, I think really the world, but definitely across a lot of the US. And it's been an event that we look forward to every fall. So
So, I think what would be a really interesting conversation to have here is maybe you talk about the differences between herping and birding because you're very excellent at both of those.
oh, thanks. Well, hey, I mean, when you boil it down to the taxonomy of everything, birds are just reptiles in the end. So it's all really just herping. But yeah, no, it's they're very different styles when it comes to like locating things. But I do it for the same reason. I am just personally kind of obsessed with seeing as many different species as I can, especially locally. So I always equate it to people. Um, I equate it to like older crowds as like coin collecting or stamp collecting or something like that. Like you're trying to get everyone. I equate it to younger crowds as like Pokemon, where it's like, you got to catch all the different ones. So yeah, when I go birding, I will usually just go on like sort of slow walks. Sometimes they're intentional, like looking for one certain thing. But a lot of times it's just sort of like the luck of the draw. Birds move around a lot, unlike a lot of reptiles, and amphibians. And so, you know, there aren't as reliable spots for different things. You just kind of gotta try your luck. And then when it comes to herping, like, you can be looking in the same spot year after year and reliably find the same species. And so it becomes a little bit different of a game there. And for me, with the photography, that's like I'm always trying to get new perspectives, new lighting and everything. And wildlife photography is such a dynamic subject that every time you go out, it's a little bit different. So that's sort of what draws me into it.